she needed a place to stay. I said sure, until when I said yes, that's when my husband came out and said he slept with her.
After 8 years of marriage, Kenneth and Nakita Thompson find themselves in divorce court with a tale of deceit, lies, and betrayals. And though at first glance it's hard to believe that this handsome couple with 2 beautiful children is having marital woes, everything isn't always what it seems.
So what you're telling me is when the two of you go out together, she scopes out a woman that she thinks you might like.
That I might, no, it's not the point that I might like what she likes.
I had my husband on a pedestal, Your Honor. A pedestal to where I never would think that he would sleep with another woman besides me.
Judge Lynn is left to work through the sordid details of this broken marriage.
Now, wait a minute, you're gonna have to ease me into the next part. Did you end up sleeping with her as well?
Today, on Divorce Court.
Come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Kenneth Thompson and Nakita Thompson. Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, the two of you have been married for 8.5 years. You have 2 children together. You do not want to be married anymore. That's why you're here. You have some financial matters you would like me to resolve, and I will get to that momentarily. But before we do, Mrs. Thompson, I'd like to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why we're here in divorce court today?
Because I want to divorce my husband. He like blonde hair, blue-eyed white women. Something that I'm not. Point blank. I'm not that at all.
Now, what makes you believe, well, other than the fact he has a white lady sitting over there next to him, which I noticed, and you're Miss Lisa Rogers, and good day to you. How are you?
Good, how are you?
And we will get to you momentarily, but Miss Thompson, where do you get that impression from?
Impression? It's no. She's here, and the fact that every time we go somewhere, he's always straying along looking at other women, white women. He don't want no black woman. Well, as he say, only me. But at the same time, if you want me, you don't want no other woman. White, blue, purple, green,
Any color.
Any color. I'm that. I'm all you want. I want your 100%, nothing else.
Now, Mr. Thompson, I don't want to get you in any trouble with your mother or any other women in your family. However, I'm going to ask you this, and I need an honest answer, because everybody likes what they like. Do you prefer white women?
No, it's not the point that I prefer white women. It's just the...
There's a however in there somewhere.
We talking to Jekyll and Hyde right here, okay? She's saying one thing right now, but in reality, we go out to the clubs, right? She'll introduce me to women.
And you act like you ain't married.
Miss Thompson.
Let me finish talking. She introduced me to women, right? Like in one incident, we went to the club. Nice little lady came through. She was like, "Oh, you see my husband standing right there? You don't want to talk to him?"
You's a liar.
Now, Miss Thompson. Hey. We're not gonna get along. Okay, Mr. Thompson.
You see what I'm working with, though?
Well, I don't need any help from you.
Okay.
Tell me the story.
But so we sitting there, and the girl come through, and she like, "You don't want to talk to my husband?" I'm like, "Okay, this what you want." So if you telling me I'm a womanizer, this is what I like, but this what you put me into. This
so
what you
what
put
you're
me at.
telling me is when the two of you go out together, she scopes out a woman that she thinks you might like.
That I might. No, it's not the point that I might like. What she likes. What she likes.
That's a whole nother conversation.
That is a whole nother part.
Now, Miss Thompson.
Now I'm gonna.
Be honest. Be honest.
I'll be honest with you.
Do you like the ladies a little bit?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Now, I told him when I first got with him 8 years ago, I sat up there and I told him, I don't want no other man but you. But I do like women. There's nothing wrong with that. That is me. That's my personality. But like I sat up there and told him, it's totally different when you go out there and you pursuing it yourself and you act like you ain't married.
No, what's different is when you want to bring them into our house and want them to be a relationship.
Hang on, Mr. Thompson. You explain that to me, did you? And Miss Rogers over there smiling, so I know she was in on this. So what you go? Ease your way forward. No, Miss Thompson. I'm running this thing. Miss Rogers, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Pretend they're not here.
Okay.
She slept with my
Miss
husband.
Thompson, I'm gonna put you in the seat in a minute. Ms. Rogers, did you have a relationship with Mr. Thompson?
Yeah, I did, but like it really wasn't a relationship. I had met him through another friend, and I wasn't aware that he was married. But as soon as I found out he was married, I stopped talking to him. And then like Nikki seen me in the store, and she told Papa, and they started calling me, asking me to come over. And I started hanging out with him, and I told Nikki about it.
Now, hang on, you said Papa?
Yeah, that's what I call him.
Oh, you call him Papa?
That's his name. It's not like he's my daddy.
Women.
That's his name.
All right, Papa.
Papa.
Here we go. Shh, go ahead.
That's what everybody calls him. It's not just me.
Okay.
Like, she wanted me to come over and hang out and stuff, and I told her about it. And then she started getting, like, a crush on me or something, and we ended up being intimate or whatever, and she wanted, I felt like I needed to do that because I did sleep with her husband. And so
Hold on.
I did her a favor, or like them a favor, or a group favor, or something. I don't know what it, I was just trying to like,
That's where the
Make her feel
womanizer
better.
comes in.
Oh, wait, hang on. No.
But she wanted it.
You guys are dealing in a realm that I'm unfamiliar with, so you're going to have to walk me through slowly.
walk you
Hang on.
through it.
I'm talking to Ms. Rogers, and then I'm going to talk to you.
Thank you.
What you're telling me is you slept with Papa,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you ended up talking to Papa's wife.
Well,
And then you felt that since you did Papa, you need to do her too.
I was just having fun.
When divorce court continues, Nakita's emotions boil over.
I waited for her to come to me. She did it. I went the next day and asked her, when was you gonna tell me that you slept with my husband?
Now that the kids are grown and on their own, is your longtime spouse getting on your last nerve? If you're ready to divorce, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce court returns with the case of Nakita Thompson, who is hurt because her husband slept with another woman. But do Nakita's emotions put her in hot water with Judge Lynn?
He knows
We was not legally
Ms. Thompson, don't
separated.
interrupt me again.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You better pull yourself together.
She needed a place to stay. I said sure. Until when I said yes, that's when my husband came out and said he slept with her. Before or after the fact? After the fact that she came into
But at
my
least
house.
I told you though. But at least I told you.
At least he told me.
I was being
I
respectful.
got that part. I got that part. Now, wait a minute. You're going to have to ease me into the next part. Did you end up sleeping with her as well?
Yes, I did.
Now, how does that happen?
Because I was trying to just comfort my hurt.
Because she likes
I
white
was
women
hurt.
too.
Hold on.
And then she
went
still
to-
kept trying to
hold
sleep
on.
with me.
Hang on.
The night that she moved in, that's when he told me. And I didn't believe him because I had my husband on a pedestal, Your Honor. A pedestal to where I never would think that he would sleep with another woman besides me. I didn't believe that. But I waited for her to come to me. She didn't. I went the next day and asked her, when was you gonna tell me that you slept with my husband? When? When?
Now, Ms. Thompson, I'm going to say this to you, and this happens to me in here all of the time. All of your anger and ire is always directed at the other woman. When
No, honey,
No,
it's
hang
at
on.
him.
Well, first
It's
of
at-
all, don't call me honey.
I'm sorry.
This is not the place for it. I know you're excited and
Honor.
upset and all of
Yeah,
that.
Your
But the
Honor.
man in the situation who is doing
All of it.
is
were
doing all that. He has
separated.
control of the information. He knows
We
her.
was not legally
Ms. Thompson, don't
separated.
interrupt me again.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You better pull yourself together.
That's that yelling
Oh,
part.
Mr. Thompson, you're not doing any better right now either. The man in the situation who is running both of the women has all of the information. So he's not going to tell everybody the truth, because if he told everybody the truth, he wouldn't get what he wanted. So your ire and your anger ought not so much be directed at the woman, but at him. I mean, you can trickle down
Yes.
anger, but he did it.
He's it.
He did it. Now, you can have a seat. Thank you very much. Mr. Thompson, I'm going to fuss at you just for a second.
Go
She
ahead.
was a young girl and you pulled her into a mess. And both of you got her in the house, got the freaky deaky going on. She didn't need to be in that mess. And it was messy and you shouldn't have made it messy. Let me move on to another issue that I saw in your
Laziness.
paper. That was it. actually.
Laziness.
Ms. Thompson, why don't you tell me
Why he's
what
lazy?
your concern is about your husband being lazy?
He moves like Moses. My truck, my Suburban that I care so much about,
That you broke.
Stop.
no, the gear shaft broke. I could not put it in drive one day, and he would, there go my baby. He called one of his friends to come over. They spent 3 hours, Your Honor. 3 hours outside, sitting up there, trying to fix the car, and all they did, all his friends showed him is how to rig my truck with a screwdriver. There it is, right there.
She's gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
No, wait, hang on. Tell me what I'm looking at here, because I
You're
don't
looking
understand.
at my gear shaft with the screwdriver, and I have to pull it. I have to pull it in drive.
You broke it?
The gear shaft.
Yes,
She broke it.
You use that with the screwdriver.
Yes, with the screwdriver, and I gotta pull it. I did not know how to maneuver it. I got mad one day.
She lived 5
Hang on,
meters down the
Mr.
street.
Thompson, I'm gonna ask you a question.
And you want me to walk?
Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, I am sick of both of you. I don't know how you stayed in the house 8.5 years together.
I don't either.
I don't want anybody in here saying anything else unless I'm looking at you and calling your name.
When divorce court continues, the Thompsons collide not only sexually, but also parentally.
He's the parent that sits up there and tells me, well, you're being too hard on him. Come on, y'all, let's go play video games.
Do you believe that a marriage can survive a third person in the bedroom? Call 1-800-282-9991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court returns with the case of Kenneth Thompson, who says his wife Nakita doesn't respect his parenting abilities. But does Kenneth find a fan in Judge Lynn?
I love you because you love your sons. You said something fascinating to me in your papers, Ms. Thompson, and I wanted to
did?
raise it. To me, it was a very meaningful statement. You said, Kenny is a lazy parent. I have to set an example for my kids. I'm raising black men, and I want him to discipline my children and see a man who's going somewhere and doing something so they have that example.
Absolutely.
Tell me, what do you see his deficiencies are with respect to his children and what you are concerned about?
Easygoing.
He's easygoing.
He's easygoing. He's the parent that sits up there and tells me, well, you're being too hard on him. Come on, y'all, let's go play video games. Come on, y'all, let's go over here. No.
Okay.
No.
Ms. Thompson, don't interrupt me. I'm about to talk to your husband.
Sure.
Is she accurate with respect to your parenting style?
No, she's not.
Why don't you tell me how you see your parenting style?
When it's time for me to have my time for me with them, when I come home from work, they don't see me all day like she don't see me all day. But the first thing
I
I want
wanna
to do,
see you.
Stop.
But the first thing I want to do, I want to spend some time with my boys, because that what means a lot to me, and it means a lot to a lot of young boys these days that don't have
Absolutely.
their father. You know what I'm saying? So I want that with them, but I can't do it. Every time I come in the house, she's yelling at them from doing something. Go to your room. Okay, why they can't spend no time with me? Okay, I want my time. Your time, what is your time? Your time is done. It's done when I get through coming home, cleaning up after the kids, cooking for them, putting them in the tub. What you do all day? You don't do nothing.
You're a homemaker, are you not?
Yes, I am.
Does this man have to come off the road from being
No,
on the road?
he does
Am I
not.
still talking?
Yes, you are.
You people. Does he have to come in off the road and take care of the household because you haven't done it?
No, ma'am.
Is that house clean when he gets
Yes,
home?
it is.
Is there food
Yes,
for everybody?
I cooks for everybody.
Ms. Rogers, is she a good housekeeper? And she's cooking for everybody?
She's a really good cook.
She's got it together? Ms. Thomas, you know, your argument just died.
Thank you.
fell over dead, nothing to it.
I'm a good wife.
Now, having said that, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna tell you why I love you. I love you because you love your sons. I love you because you don't just show up with the money, you show up with the time and the care and the want. They will learn to be men by watching you, and I love you for that, because that's what our young men need. A lot of them don't get it, and I've got to express love for her brother who's doing it. So there you go. I love you for that.
When divorce court continues, Judge Lynn shuts down a know-it-all attitude.
I literally told the chef, I don't need to be here. I know how to do everything. I don't need this school.
Now, Ms. Thompson, that's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
I didn't need it.
Do you believe that a marriage can survive a third person in the bedroom? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers.
Divorce Court returns with the case of Kenneth and Nakita Thompson, who after 8 years are closing the door and throwing away the key to their marriage.
Let me move on to what you're fighting about financially. So, Mr. Thompson, I'm going to go to you. You say that you want $4,000 from Mrs. Thompson for culinary school. Why don't you explain that to me?
Okay, this is the thing. When I first got with this woman, right, she had a passion to do something. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what it was. She didn't know what it was, right? But I told her, whatever you decide to do, I'm going to be with you. 100%, I'm going to stick with you. You know what I'm saying? I was already working. So, okay, she said she wanted to go to culinary school. She cooks. Okay, we go there. She did good. She did it for 3 semesters, all right? The next thing you know, she just turned around and said, it's not for me. Okay, I didn't argue. I ain't do no fussing and fighting about it. You can't figure out what you want to do.
Address that, Ms. Thompson.
That's true.
Okay.
There you go. Wow.
I'm so happy. What's the problem? You don't like the work? You don't, it doesn't live up to your expectations? What seems to be the difficulty?
It doesn't challenge me enough. When I went to culinary art school, I have a blessed talent. I can cook. I can outcook anybody. I literally told the chef, I don't need to be here. I know how to do everything. I know how to make my sauces. I know all the spices. I don't need this school. I didn't need it.
Now, Ms. Thompson, that's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life.
I didn't need it.
Ms. Thompson, you needed the degree, you needed the piece of paper.
Okay,
and it is foolhardy to believe that anyone in any profession, anywhere, at any time, knows everything. There's always something that you can learn. Even if you know what the spices are, there are different ways a combination that you've never heard of. You could go to India and find a whole new way to cook with a whole new set of spices and think, that's arrogant and silly. Here's what I'm going to say. I can't give you that $4,000 back because you two were married and you did an investment in something that you were trying to do together. She had tried to send you to school and it didn't work out. The same thing would go for her. That's what I'm going to say about that. So nobody's getting any money. But I'm going to tell you people something. You annoy me. I would imagine you annoy one another. But if I were the two of you, I would get some marriage counseling and try to work this sucker out. Because you went a little far afield with Miss Rogers over there.
We did.
I mean, it was just Miss Rogers, you're a wonderful person, but it was a ridiculous thing for you guys to try to do. But you got 2 sons at home, and we have got a crisis in our community that requires us to hang tight, hang together, and raise them right. And you guys got all the tools to do that. Don't let the stupid stuff sink your ship. You got a job to do, not just for you, but for all the other people out there. So no money on the $4,000. Work it out. Be kind to one another. Love one another, but never come back here. This matter is adjourned.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
It is never a good idea to bring a third party into your marriage. The best way to stay out of trouble is to stay away from where it lives. You have got to know what your weaknesses are before the world discovers them for you.